Now the floor is open to all of you. So please grab this opportunity to ask the speakers questions. And also, if you would like to share with us your experience of how you change your assessment methods, please feel free to share with us as well. I have a question from Dr. Eva Wong. I like the idea of coordinating assignments among courses. How about having a major authentic assignment that can satisfy a few courses in the same discipline area? Is this achievable?
Yeah, indeed, I have thought about it because I say in psychology, maybe some of the courses are connected to each other, or say statistics. And if students say taking statistics and developmental psychology together at the same time, then maybe they can do an assignment like crossing the two courses together. Yeah, mechanically, I haven't thought about how that would work, but definitely I think that is an interesting idea. And actually for coordinating assignments, this is for us, we have been doing that even before the pandemic times, because we do get a lot of feedback, especially from actually our master's students. They are 1 year full-time students. So their course schedule and course sequence is really tight. And they do appreciate that we have program leaders here that oversees a program. So he would actually go and collect all the due dates, important due dates, and try to spread it out so that you won't have 3 assignments due on the same date. So that's what we do.
May I?
Yes, please.
Yeah, share. Actually, Eva posed a very nice idea. This really motivated me to think about some trial with my colleagues in future. So, for example, in the science, in computer science, when students are developing the app or the web, so they learn the different techniques from different courses, such as backend, database, or the front end or design. Actually, they are in different courses. So if we can have one assignment coordinating with all these course instructors and ask a student to put all what they learned into one big assignment, can be very interesting. And they can be very demonstrative to see the student overall experience and overall learning outcome. Can be a very good idea. Thank you, Eva.
Thank you, Kristen and Lydia. The next question on the chat, actually you can, participants can unmute yourself if you would like to ask question instead of me like, just speak for you, okay? Which approach is most welcomed by the students? Which is the least? You mean approach of like assessment or approach of the use of different e-tools? I have to clarify this as well. Our speakers?
I think what I receive from my students is that they basically like the idea of having these low-stake assessments throughout the semester, rather than having a big one towards the end, because that would allow them to track their own progress. That they feel that they are actually moving on. So that gives them a sense of, I guess, we would say continuity, or actually they're making progress throughout the course. And especially with some peer feedback and my feedback along the way, that they feel that, okay, I'm actually moving in the correct direction.
If I can just add something, I think it was Kristen that had this timeline laid out of how to change things over the term from the past to the present. I find when we're talking about which approach works best, I think we've all probably recognized this, and it's not just because of what's happening now, but as you get deeper into the semester, you find students are becoming much more overwhelmed with work. And so not only do I hear this from my students during our informal discussions over the coffee clutch, but I can actually track it when I see how they should be adding questions and comments in the Wow What Padlet. At the beginning of the semester, there was a ton of questions and wows and all kinds of stuff, lots of feedback. And progressively, you can see that go down and down and down to like my last 2 entries, I have almost no students adding stuff. And it's not that they don't have questions, it's just that they're overwhelmed with so much to do, so that I'm thinking now maybe I should front load, not a lot, but actually try to get a little bit more done in the beginning of the semester when they've got more time and they're more enthusiastic, and then think of the end, because I know they're overwhelmed with all kinds of stuff. So definitely that's not a time to introduce them to new types of software, new types of things like that, because it's just too much for them.
Maybe I also want to share a bit about the approaches. Since the students they get used to the online lessons and they think that it's very convenient, even they just log in and without listening, the teacher will not know. I think they will like this mode more than face-to-face because they don't need to travel as well. But for teacher, it's a very great challenge since the learning diversities will be greater than before. Students who are enthusiastic in learning, they will answer lots of questions or use the online resources that we prepared. But those who lagging behind, they will they will become worse. The results or they cannot meet the deadlines. I face some problem is they will miss the deadline. It's clear in the middle of the semester they need to submit the work, but they didn't submit on the online platform as well. Even I sent them email a reminder. Yeah, so this I think some challenges for student side and the teacher side.
Teaching side. Yeah, very true. Yeah, thank you. Any other questions? Yes, I can see somebody unmute.
Hi, this is Vivian Lee from the Chinese University of Hong Kong. Thank you for all the presenter for excellent sharing and a lot of good tips for everybody. I have 2 questions. The first question is for both the formative and summative assessment, do you use a specific rubrics for that assignment, and it's actually discussed in advance with your students? The second question is actually, I notice a lot of the time, especially for the formative assessment, could be involved, you could involve in the group projects. Do you actually see any free riders in your experience, and how do you actually managing free riders in your evaluation?
Thank you, Vivian.
Thank you.
Who would like to be the first one?
I
Maybe.
think I can start from some rubrics first. Yeah, but I need some time for the free rider part. Yeah, because I really have a platform that can detect the free rider to share. Okay, so this rubrics, and I will share this part. Since the summative assessment, we have rubrics all the time, and when I having the consultation with the students, I would take it out again and again and remind them of what you need to do in order to get a better grade, and go through every criterion with them, especially in the individual consultations. And then let's see some reflective entry as well. For the presentation, I previously shared they need to have peer feedback. So what I prepared for them is they use the same mark sheet that I will use to mark their presentation. So they will use the same way to mark the others' presentation here. So they have all these rubrics accessible on the Moodle platform that I upload all the documents already. And I see if I can open the platform for the free rider part. Yeah, for free rider is a very common problem, especially online. So I have another platform, but not implement in the course that I just shared, is in other 2 courses. Each student in the group, they have scores and it shows them the average score in the group. And teachers can also use this view to see whether some of the students are not really engaged in the course or in the group. So let me load up. I need to let this load, but yeah. Okay, here is the one. And for example, in previous weeks, every group have some activities on this platform, just like Moodle. So group 18 has two group members. So obviously you can see all the things are done by one student only, by Cheng Yi. But another one, Jihin, 0. So it means you can detect the free rider by using this kind of objective measurements, and so that you don't need to let the students to complain each other. You can see all these things with the log here. Yeah, so this is what I want to share.
Sorry, can I quickly just follow up this? Like the G Moodle is not the Moodle that we regularly use across
yeah.
the universities.
This is not. This is developed based on Moodle and is under a TDG funding. And if our colleagues would like to use it, I welcome them to. I welcome to open a course for them. Yeah, then they could use this platform in their course as well.
So even non-EduHK.
Yeah, sure. I think it's
great.
very welcome.
Yeah. So how about the free ride? Free rider you have talked about, as well as the assessment rubrics. How about the other speakers?
May I share a bit?
Yes.
So, I really like the platform that Winnie showed us to automatically detect the free riders. In our case, we monitor the free rider using the project management tool because at the beginning they have to schedule their work, and also along the way I can see how if they are on schedule, if their tasks are complete, and if they are finishing their part for each groups. And it's kind of an observation from me. It's not really something that automatically detected. And in the end, in the reflection, in the group reflection, self-reflection, so students may also point out if their work is efficient as a team, and if there is any abnormal cases. So I really like to try Winnie's platform and talk about the rubrics. Actually, we are using similar approach. We share with the students in advance what are the rubrics, and also when they are doing peer assessment and when I am doing assessment, it's based on the same rubrics. So they already get informed and they are assessing each other and being assessed by using the same rubrics.
Thank you, Kristen.
Thank you for your sharing. I especially like Winnie's that G Moodle. In CUHK, we use Blackboard. So maybe it's good for me to talk to our ITSC colleague to see if it's actually do. The other way that I try to suggest, maybe because there are actually a lot of online free tools that for project planning that I suggest some of my students to use for their group, so that I could be a subscriber to that project planner. So I could see what type of activities, what type of work that they have been done, and it's actually free of charge. But the Winnie's platform is you centralize everything into one single platform that will be very easy to use. And I have to look into that at CUHK. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Do you think, Winnie, do you think your G Moodle, is it some sort of API that can like also as a plugin in like Blackboard?
Actually, it's developed based on Moodle, and I also talked with LTTC before, and quite difficult to integrate. Yeah, and actually, this is not all in one also, because when the student need to submit the assignment, I need to ask them to go back to EduHK Moodle because they have turned it in.
So they are actually using two platforms and then log in like
they need two platforms. Right.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, thank you. So how about Vivian? You talk about the project management tool. So what sort of project management tool do you recommend?
They're like Monday.com or ClickUp. Okay, so it's actually readily available. Of course, if you really want advanced version, you have to pay for it. Yeah. But in the beginning, it's actually for project's sake, and it's actually free of charge. And it's actually easy for the students, and even my own team, I could monitor the progress of various projects. But the disadvantage is because you have so many group of students, so probably you have so many log on. So Winnie's platform is actually all centralized in one place. So that's actually a beauty of Winnie's platform.
Yeah. Thank you.
We can also add the RA into the course, and they help you manage the course as well.
Wow. I really want to learn more detail about the Gmoodle as well.
But not that easy. Actually, it has a lot of complaints also because they need to log in 2 times, and yeah.
Okay.
They will ask
So,
why.
I'm mindful of time. Is there any burning question, like one last one, then we can like ask our speakers to answer? Just a quick question from me.
Just quick
Sorry.
question.
Oh, okay. Then
Sorry. One last question is: do you see the grade actually different in your current evaluation system versus the previous, the traditional assessment system?
You mean the grade of the students?
Yeah, like do you
our
see like a
grade?
change? Yeah, like changes of the grade. Is it easier to get A's, or is it easier to get A now or easier to get A then?
I see something strange as the students, they pay more effort when having online lesson, because one of my courses is about how to edit the videos, and even they cannot have the face-to-face lesson, they will take the videos at home, or some of them they have 2 students go to one home and take the videos, and the storyboard is even better than the face-to-face lesson. Yeah, this is, I observed some weird situation. And for teachers grade, I think that is the evaluation for teachers. I think that would be a different thing. And I see that is their response rate is quite low. And those who will respond, they will give you below average. If they think you are good, maybe they will not do anything. If they think you are not good enough, they will write something for you. Okay.